This outdoor planter started with just 5 guppies. 2 years later, there's so many fish in here that I've stopped trying to count them. When I started, I really didn't know what to expect as I've never had guppies, let alone guppies outside. So what made it work? To answer that, I need to go back to the beginning and review a few lessons learned along the way. Started with a simple plastic planter, 45 liters. It's about 12 US gallons. For substrate, I used pool sand. I like pool sand. It's inexpensive. It's good with beneficial bacteria, and I added about 4 inches here. I also added a stargrass plant. I used this plastic pot to prop it up to keep it up above the water line. I added for filtration a basic sponge filter. I also added a heater. The temperature is pretty mild here, but a heater helps with the swings and also with the cooler months of the year where the temps can get down to 30, 40 degrees in the evening. I figured with the sponge filter and the plants and the substrate that I would have sufficient filtration and biological filtration for the tank, but that turned out to be not quite right. Over time, I moved the tank over to the other side of the goldfish tank. I added more plants, the lizard tail, and some red root floaters, and I thought those would do pretty well here, and they did not. Stargrass did not do well. The lizard tail died all the way back, which was disappointing. And with the red root floaters, I couldn't see the fish, so kind of defeated the whole purpose. So I decided to mix it up a little bit. I added in this fiber optic grass and I cleaned up the star grass a little bit. As you can see here, eventually the fiber optic took over the entire tank. And so I removed the star grass and started pulling out some of the floaters. The challenge I had here, though, even though I expected this plant to suck up all the excess nutrients in the water, it didn't happen. I kept finding that nitrates kept creeping up. And yeah, for whatever reason, this plant wasn't getting it done. Neither were the floaters. So I decided to start over with this whole plant concept. I took all the plants out. I took out the fiber optic. I took all the floaters out and just really wanted to start over again. The substrate is the same. I didn't change any of that. But what I did change is I pulled out the sponge filter and I added an internal filter, which is the one you can see here. I think it's a Whisper 1030. It's not sponsored. I bought it and just thought that it might be better than the sponge filter. It came with your basic filter cartridge. I pulled that out. I mean, that to me was too much maintenance of having to clean that or change it. So I just filled this entire filter with pea pebbles. The pea pebbles actually work really well. And I found that they're really easy to clean. And as you'll see in a little bit, they've done actually a pretty good job of filtering this tank. I decided to give the Ludwigia a try in the guppy tank. I had really good luck with it. In the goldfish tank, as you remember, it went from a small plant to basically taking over the entire tank. So I know it's a hardy plant, and I really do like the roots on it, and so I figured it would be a good addition to the tank. You can see it started to grow pretty rapidly, and the guppies seemed to like it and started to do a little bit better. I like that I took the floaters out so I can see these guppies. The Ludwigia pretty much was a game changer. You can see the plant is really enjoying this space, and actually, it's done pretty well here. So I was pretty pleased and pretty happy. You can see that the guppies are starting to multiply. I think the roots and the plants gave the fry a little bit more space to hide and to remain safe. And yeah, it worked out pretty well. So again, here we are today. The Ludwigia is great. The guppies have gone crazy. The filtration has been great. The water parameters are fantastic. And I think this is the primary reason. Look at all of the roots here from the Ludwigia. I think that has been one of the key contributors to the success of this tank. The substrate's great. The new filter is doing a lot of the heavy lifting, but I think it's the plant here that has made all the difference. So my final thoughts here. For this tank, if I were to start over, internal filter, stay with the heater. Sand substrate's great. I would go with Ludwigia or a similar plant with lots of roots. And I think that would be enough to get started. And had I known that 2 years ago, that's what I would have done. But that was really a part of this whole process to figure this out. So, yeah, I hope that was helpful. And we'll see what happens for year number 3.